Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me, here with me, feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night. Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just walk your step with me, dance with me, here with me, feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me. Feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. Make a groove all night. Close your eyes, come to me. Close your
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ducks. How are you?
Good morning. Doing okay? How are you?
I'm good. We got some stuff to talk about. So there was a lot that came out last week when it came to Mortal Kombat, but I kind of want to talk about all of it together. Cause
Yeah.
so I was looking for the correct article, right? And I thought I found it before stream, and I looked at it when I shared it on the screen, like while the song was going. And I'm like, wait, that's not the right screen. And then I look at the article, and I'm like, that makes me even more mad. Like,
What?
they DLC for Combat Pack 3, I guess who it was going to be coming out was leaked also that I didn't know about until right before stream. So we're gonna talk about that too, and
That's funny.
it's infuriating. It's all it is. But I want to talk about why, how, what caused it. I blame Ghostface, personally.
I
I
blame.
mean,
I mean, honestly, I blame them not giving them enough, or not giving us enough normal MK characters with these two combat packs and the price of Chaos Reigns.
the
Like
price was a big deal. Do you remember by chance how much Aftermath was?
20.
Was it really?
Yep,
Oh
$20.
my god. I couldn't remember. I knew it was a lot cheaper, but I thought it was 40. I couldn't remember. But even
Even if
so,
it was like a whole story. You know, it wasn't just like a couple hours. It was like 10 hours more gameplay. You know,
yeah, yeah. And we got the 3 characters. We got Fujin, which was returning for the first time in a very, very long time. Like, people were excited for Fujin. Like,
right?
were people excited
People,
for
people were
anybody other
excited
than Noob?
for exactly. It's like all the character. If they didn't do the swap of Sector and Cyrax, then they at least would have had the 3 MK characters to hinge it on, instead of worrying about what Ghostface, Conan, and T1000 are bringing to the table. You'll at least know that you have your returning MK fans buying that pack. But because you did the swap,
Yep.
Noob was like the only one selling that to core fans.
And the funny thing about it is, when it comes to Sector and Cyrax, people had been calling for them to be playable for so long. Right? Like,
Right.
people wanted them back. Everybody loves Sector and Cyrax, even if they're kind of like I remember Cyrax being one of my favorite as far as character goes in 9, because he's got that, like, I need to impress Sector, but I'm really a good guy, you know, kind of. Like, I loved him. I thought he was awesome. And instead we got that.
Exactly.
That.
For me, it's like you brought them into the game, like, for what? Just to change their sex, and then because they're females now, they have to have dudes that they're tied to. So it's
I
like,
know! Isn't that a little bit like...
it's weird.
It's weird.
All the females have
Redundant.
dudes that are tied to them. You know, it's like they're all dating a dude.
They
from the
can't
past.
exist on their own. They have to be
Exactly.
tied to somebody else. Like, I don't want to call it
Exactly.
sexist, but it's a little bit sexist.
It is, though. But then it's also like we have the original old school palettes for them as cameos, but they don't give us anything even close to that with the actual playable characters. Not to mention, both of them looked amazing in MKX and MK11.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the designs for them really just aren't that good in this game.
Well, not only that, but they're
They-
cookie cutter. They're the exact same design.
Exactly. It's exactly the same. Instead of them having unique things, like, yeah, Cyrax is more on the grenades and bombs still, but like Sector basically just has the shield and the gun that she uses. Everything else is basically the exact same. you
Yeah,
know?
and the funny thing is I was definitely calling for more women in the game until we got this, you know. And with all the girls, every single one, even the cameos, every single one is leveled up. Except for Sector and Cyrax, because I don't give even fucking Farah at this point. But those two, I never cared about getting their gear because it was exactly the same.
Right. They
And
do
hideous.
have a couple of differences, but like I did level them because I like Sector and Cyrax as playable characters. But
Right.
like I don't think I finished leveling both of them up, and I just like stopped using them immediately after.
I
You know, it's
can't
like,
even remember the last time I played them, honestly.
The only ones that I don't have leveled up for the DLC characters is Homelander and Peacemaker. No, actually, it's just Omni-Man, Homelander and Omni-Man. Like those are the only two that I don't have maxed out as far as like the DLC characters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I enjoyed Sector and Cyrax, but not enough to keep playing them or think that it was worth it. You
No.
know?
No, and I do think, like, so I sent Dax a video earlier from True Underdog Gaming, and I think he does a really good way of voicing like his frustrations, kind of pinning it all on Sector and Cyrax, which I do disagree with to a point. I think that the DLC also, or the guest characters, I mean, also like people weren't interested in, and I know people, and I my thumbnail is a joke. I don't really think Ghostface killed Mortal Kombat. I think besides Noob, he was probably what most people were excited for.
Yeah.
But was
Well,
anybody excited for, what is it, Conan and T1000?
yeah, I was gonna say like I think that they were trying to use Conan and T1000 because they have the rights, but it's also like an easy grab for people that don't normally play Mortal Kombat. You know, like you have the casuals, or you have people that are just looking for a game and they come across Mortal Kombat and they see T1000 and Conan and like, oh, I know those characters.
Right, but that's also a very old reference. Like,
Exactly.
what?
And it's a
Terrifier
very,
3 just came out, right? Like,
I know, right? Art the Clown.
it was
would
right
have been
there.
Yeah, right there. But even like the Doom Guy thing, and like there's a couple other characters that people have been clamoring for since MK11 and MKX, and I get that you want to please those fans,
Right.
but you also have to look at the newer group of fans, the younger kids, and like try to keep everybody happy. You didn't have to go with 3 old school references, you know?
And not only that, they were references that felt reused. With T1000, we had Terminator. With Conan, we had, I mean, basically Kotal. And then also Terminator. It's Arnold.
It's supposed to be Arnold, but it's not Arnold.
Oh my god.
Like again, we're getting another Arnold character without Arnold voicing him.
Robert, thank you so much. He said, see any more of my Mass Effect gameplay or play. Mods make it great. I just need mods for her hair. That's all I care. Yeah, but yes. I have the most Karen haircut in Mass Effect, and I'm very upset about that. Still.
I told Rob, you picked the Karen, you have to stick with it.
Yep.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And I'm going to play the entire game like a Karen just for that fact alone.
Exactly. There you go. Talk to the manager.
Every single level, we're talking to the manager, and if they don't listen to us, we're shooting them. That's just how it goes.
Let's fucking go.
Oh my god. Also, good morning, Steph.
Good morning, love. How are you?
Good. I sent you a video last night. I didn't realize the video was so long. You don't have to watch the video. It was just me explaining that game I was talking about.
But can I tell you that your links don't work?
Yes.
I don't get that.
I know, right? It's like
it bothers the crap out of me.
It doesn't work, and then you'll send me a DM with the same exact link, and it'll work, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, I don't get what it. Messenger's broken. It's drunk today, guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like Discord, Rob was trying to message us about doing a PTN, and I would get it like 2 hours later, and then I would message him, and then I wouldn't hear back, and then the next day I'd go to message him again and see that it failed. And it just
that's so weird.
Like 3 or 4 days in a row, if I wasn't leaving Discord open, like the chat open, either I wouldn't see his message or my message wouldn't send. Like if I tried to send the message and then close my phone, it just would fail. It just wouldn't send the message. So I don't know what the hell's up with Discord.
I hate this.
They're all drunk.
So like, did you see? So you got Fate Unknown talking about how Chaos Reigns, poor sales, Sector and Cyrax swap, all that is basically shutting down the game after the combat pack finishes. But then he also got so fed up with the like backlash that he got from it.
Oh no!
That he deleted his account.
What?
Fate Unknown has deleted their account.
Okay, so I am unfamiliar.
They're the leaker that everybody thinks is an NRS employee.
Okay.
For years now. So like they have like almost never been wrong with any of their leaks. You know, so it's like it's people are looking at it like the best source for leaked information for MK because they haven't been wrong. Like
Okay, so that
everything
makes
that they
sense
said.
because I thought he was that idiot at first that like had a beef with Brusque Poet and calls everybody shills and da da. Like that's who I
Oh
thought it was
no.
at first because I'm used to listening to the data miners like the Thinny, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
I wasn't familiar with Fate Unknown, but if they've got like the back catalog of being right.
Yeah, they're like a verified insider. They're either a friend of one of the employees or they're actually an employee. Like
Okay,
they are
that makes sense.
verified insider for MK. So
That
like
makes a
yeah,
lot of
the
sense.
thing Inner Loco, they're the data miners and they'll leak whatever they
And
find
yep,
in the data. But then Fate Unknown will leak like information that he's heard either firsthand or secondhand. And he's been doing it since like MKX or maybe even sooner.
okay, that makes sense because that's in the two that we mentioned, the Thinny and Interloco are the two that I usually listen to because I know them. Like they've always done
Right.
a good job. Interloco found the Jade stuff, like, and I was
Yep.
all like hyped, like, yes, we're gonna get Jade. Come
Well,
on.
that's the thing. So you had all of these people, all the characters have been in the game files since the game released. So like they knew that Noob and Noob, Sector, Cyrax, Ghostfade, like
And they
people
even
knew
talked
that.
about it being female long before it
Right.
was ever confirmed.
Way before. So it's like from the data files, they were able to find all this stuff. And he's been saying, like, Jade, Cassie, Kung Jin, all these characters were planned to be in the game also. So it makes sense for them to do another combat pack and those be the characters,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
Fate Unknown saying, like, those characters, specifically 5 MK characters and 1 guest character, makes a lot of sense. So like them saying now that that's been canceled and the second part of the story expansion is canceled, like that's a big deal. And then NRS came out with their pro comp for next year. Did you see that yet?
No.
Yeah, they finally, like literally 2 hours after Fate Unknown deleted their account, like after all the backlash happened and everything a few days ago, I think it was Thanksgiving actually. They deleted their account and then like 2 hours later, NRS put out a trailer for the Pro Comp for 2025.
Oh my god.
And it's gonna be February, so it's like by the time T1000 and Conan come
Yep.
out, they should be onto the Pro Comp.
Yep.
So we'll know more soon, but like I don't know if that's their way of answering it and being like, well, we're here in 2025 at least,
Yeah,
you know,
maybe. Yeah.
or if it's like just another way for them to drag it out. I know they're not going to come out and be like, yeah, the game's dead after
They're
the
not going to
combat pack.
address it whatsoever.
They're
And that's
not
the
going to
thing.
do that.
It to be fair, what we've got with this right now is what we've gotten with every other game, right? Like,
Right.
but
And they
that
said it wasn't going to be like that this time. They said
exactly.
they were
They
going to
said
support it for
specifically.
3 years at
Yep.
least.
And it's
Like,
been one. It's been one.
it's been a year and like 3 months, dude. And we're already talking about the game being over. But you tell us you're gonna like specifically tell us you're gonna support it for at least 3 years. Come on.
Yeah.
All of the other MK games in these like the PS4 and PS5 generation have only gotten like a year and a half worth of actual support. You know, MK11 got a little bit more, but they basically cut off the main support after a year and a half.
Lizardology has a really good point. He says they most likely NRS most likely found out who Fate Unknown was and took action. Was it that why they deleted their account, or was it you said backlash?
So they basically said that they had never gotten such a response. Like so many people
Right.
got their hands on his article and like were going at him about it. He basically, it seems to me like either he was threatened by NRS and either they found out about it and threatened him, that figured out who he was and threatened him. You know, like if it is an actual NRS employee,
Yeah,
I could
that's
see them like either terminating him or threatening him, like, "Hey, you have NDA and all this other stuff."
yep.
But you know, he basically just says it's because of all the response. You know, he's not like fit to deal with the backlash.
And not everyone is. I totally get
Yeah.
that. And
Because I mean, you're saying something super counterintuitive right now. Like we're only a year into the game, and it seems like there should still be much more for this game. You know, the story's incomplete. Even the aftermath type of story is incomplete. You know, the Chaos Reigns thing
yep.
that was left on a cliffhanger. Like we're all still expecting more characters. You know, for him to be saying like it's dead after this, after Conan and T1000, a lot of people are gonna be upset about that because if it's true, that really sucks, and if it's not true, then screw you.
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly. And people are going to take it out on him, which sucks for him.
right.
But I like, so when the last update happened with Ghostface and we got the repeat, if I can talk today, it's early, guys, forgive me, of the invasions, I was
Yep.
like, yep, I'm done. I knew something was up, right? Like it felt weird. And I think I put it in Shar, their comment section, and I just put, yep, I'm done. Like that was it. It was really like nothing. And there was so many like, and I'm at a Mortal Kombat show, right? But there was so many that were worse than me, like, cope with it, bitch. Like,
Yeah, for real though. I keep
okay.
seeing the same thing. It's like, yeah, people are really disappointed, but then you have other people that are like, oh, the game was dead when it came out. Then you have other people that are like, I really like the game. All you people being mad about these petty little things, like, get over it. The game is good. And it's like, but if you know any of the other games, this is not the good game.
Right.
You know?
Right, exactly.
MKX and MK11 were much better than MK1. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah,
sorry, not
yeah.
sorry. I much preferred MKX and MK11 over MK1.
This
Like,
is a really good point, too. If it is true, how are we ever going to leave NetherRealm Studios again?
yeah, no, if it is true, NRS is doomed.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't put out another combat pack or at least release info on their next game by the end of this combat pack, they're screwed.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever either buy their product again or support them the way that they have been.
And the thing
I've been
is
a
I
Mortal
love
Kombat supporter for years,
years.
and I will never buy another one of their game pre-order. And if they drop it after this combat pack, I just probably won't even play anymore. Like, I just won't buy the next game.
Well, the thing is I love how Ed Boon teases his audience. Like, I think he's funny about it. I think he's great with fans. Like, I know it went through that whole thing of him blocking people or whatever.
Yeah, he's a troll for sure.
He's an awesome troll. Like, you can't believe him. But when he comes out and says at least 3 years, you gotta take his word for it. Like, because that's probably him underestimating.
Exactly. And then he was saying, like, oh, we've had the idea for our next game. Like, we know what it's going to be for the last 3 years now. And then other people took that as, like, they're already working on the game. So they just fed into this more of, like, oh, it's definitely done after KP2. For me, I'm like 50-50. Yes, I could definitely see them ending it after this because of the sales. But at the same time, I don't think that that's where it's going, considering MK1 was one of the top selling games of this year and the last year.
Yeah.
You know, like both years.
I think in the first couple months it sold 4 million. And in Lizardology again says if Injustice 3 is next, it doesn't get the sales compared to Mortal Kombat. And I love Injustice, don't get me wrong, but it sells half, if that.
Right. Injustice 2 did maybe half of what MK11 did.
Yeah.
Or MKX. And like, that's what I don't get about it, is that they really should have taken this game and just kept it as Injustice 3. instead of swapping it over to MK1, because I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
This wasn't Injustice 3.
The clash, the cameo, the way that they took that right out of literally as much as I hate the Turtles, that's where it came from.
Exactly. It's like it moves, it plays, it feels, it looks exactly like Injustice, not MK. You know, like this doesn't play, feel, or look anything like any of the other Mortal Kombat games, but it definitely looks like Injustice to me. You know,
and
like
it's such
even
a
the
shame.
combos.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. But it is like, I do think like the cameo system fucks some people up a little bit in the beginning. I wouldn't blame that completely, because I do feel like the longer you play with cameos, the more you get used to it. And I feel like anybody, you can use Serena. Like you can do a 1-2, bring Serena in, 1-2, bring Serena. You know what I mean?
I don't like the cameos, but it's also like I do see the use in them, you know, but it's like for the most part, you're going to get yourself stuck on 1 or 2 or 3 different cameos and just only use those ones. Or you're going to be constantly trying to find new stuff with different characters, and that's fine too. But it's like instead of where they had MK11, where you could choose which specials you wanted and which ones you didn't want, you could customize it. I kind of feel like they did that with the cameos instead of just letting you
individual
do it with
characters.
your characters.
Yeah.
It's like if they had done the cameos right, where this could have been the first MK game that you could have had every MK character in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether they're playable or through cameo.
Yep.
You could have had every single actual MK character in a game for the first time, and you didn't do it. You're not even striving to do it. You know, like.
And we didn't get a single cameo with the $50 DLC. At least as of yet. I'm not saying like, I know the leak said there might be one, but
yeah, there might be a couple.
But we didn't get a single one. So the last one we got was Farah. Right?
Exactly.
And
but I also think that you know, any of the playable characters should have also been cameos and vice versa.
Oh, that would have been incredible.
Exactly.
And I do think
I agree.
I do think a lot of it was.
I think this was Injustice 3.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I also think a big deal of this was the game feels more cohesive now. This is what it should have felt like when it was put out.
Yeah, we're like a year and 3 months in, and it's just now feeling like a playable game that you're not going to be constantly frustrated at.
And maybe sometimes still, but you know what I'm saying, like.
Right? Well, there's certain things that are like very intuitive right now with the newer buffs that were very counterintuitive before because they didn't work right, you know?
And it's like, frustrating because I'm sure it had a lot to do with them wanting to rush out the game, which in the end also led to its downfall. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the features that we have now, the not invasions, the towers, the ability to go back and look at what you messed up on, the crossplay, the King of the Hill crossplay, those features should have been there at launch.
Yeah, for sure. It's like all those things that you made us like you drip fed throughout a year, and they still don't work right. Like you still can't have private lobbies and rooms and things like that have been staples in these games for over a decade.
That MK11 had.
That's what I'm saying. Like these things that even Injustice 2 had it.
Yes.
Like, MKX had private rooms and lobbies. Like what the? It makes no sense. Like all these things that were like base game, and we just didn't get them. Like we still don't have them when they're base features in other games. Oh, hold on 1 second.
You're totally fine.
I'll be right back.
You're fine. It's very unlikely we will get another fighting game from NRS besides MK as long as WB controls NRS. Anyway, well, I do know that they had said they were going to basically go on their moneymakers, right? So you've got Mortal Kombat, you've got Harry Potter. As much as I'm not a Harry Potter person, I can recognize that, you know, people loved Hogwarts Legacy. So that's likely going to get a sequel. And they did say DC characters, especially Batman. So my guess is not that we're going to get an Injustice game, which I would love. I would love to get an Injustice game. My guess is that we're going to get a Batman game. And maybe not even a Justice League game, just a Batman game, right? Which would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. I would love for both. I don't know which one I'd want more. MK1 suffered greatly from being released too soon and to make the anniversary. Not only that, but at launch. Like, we were trying to do tournaments, right? And we were having so much problem with it. And that just wasn't me being a boomer. It was a mix of both. Let's be real here. And there was a lot of like, I love Johnny and Johnny Cage, right? But he was unfairly balanced. The balancing was completely off with the characters. So you had characters that you didn't even have to be good at Mortal Kombat, and you could go in and, go online and beat everyone. Namely, Johnny. If you were good, you could go in and be Kenshi. And then, so everyone learned those characters. It was really a balancing issue, and that happens with every game a little bit, but this game, it was really bad. One thing I will applaud them for is not only fixing the balancing, but then adding moves to people like Rain or Scorpion or even Havoc, right? We got those moves added to balance it, but because they rushed it out, those weren't there. Oh, Reptile was another one they added moves for.
Also, the relics. I'm noticing more through the invasions of this season, like they did it the last couple seasons too, but they're giving you moves through the relics. Did you see that yet?
No, I honestly, I haven't gone to invasions. It pissed me off.
Well, you can get them through Towers of Time too, but invasion. So I've gotten like each boss fight that you do, basically, you get a relic that is like attached to that boss. So I have one with Ashra, Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero. There's a few of them, but it just like adds an extra move, whatever that boss's move is. Mm-hmm. So like the Cobra kick that Ghostface does.
Right.
The fire kick
hate
or whatever.
That so much. I hate it so much.
One of the Scorpion bosses in I think it's the last boss actually in Invasions, Scorpion has that kick. So he can also hit you with the spear and then do the fucking flying up kick on you, or the crescent kick.
Oh my
God.
God.
When you beat him, you get a relic and it allows you to also do the kick.
I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but it takes away from other things. Like if you need a relic that has like defense or armor or whatever, now you don't have that because you're adding a move to your thing. So it's like it's a give and take, just like it would be with the other games. But it's like you're making the choices way too difficult. Just let us pick our specials and then also give us relics and things like that if we want to use them.
And the funny thing is, when the game started, I was like, okay, so these are whole characters, right? We don't have to pick our specials. And very quickly, I was like, I want to go back to that. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted from Melina in this defensive position. But if I was going up against something different, I could change it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. You could change which one you could change which preset you're using.
Yes. And, okay, before we go and talk about the future DLC that got messed up, we got to talk about customization, because I do feel like this game is absolutely the worst when it comes to it.
It is, though, because, they've given a good amount of palettes and a good amount of gear at this point, but it's also like 90% of it is hideous to me. Like I have... like 100 pallets for Scorpion, and I don't only like 3 of them.
Yes. And it's so funny. I love the posts that are like, you get this free pallet for Johnny, and then you see somebody comparing it to one you get in Invasions last season, and it's just literally a tad bit darker.
Exactly.
Or it's got a little shine on it.
Yep, it's the exact same, but he's got a little gold piece here, or a little shiny piece there. And you're like, wait, are they different? Are they not different? Like,
And in
It's
Mortal Kombat
crazy.
11, we got 4 different outfits to start out with.
Right.
You could
And
customize. Oh, what was it? Oh my God, 3 or
you could
4
change
different
your
pieces.
you could change your palette, the actual palette, and that also had different skins. So you had multiple palette choices for each skin and multiple skins, so they look different. Like, yeah, we have the similar thing here, but it's not as good. And then you also had 3 pieces of gear for
Yep.
each character,
Yep.
you
And I
know, but
loved it
then
because you could pick your favorite palette, and if you wanted to make it, you can literally make the character your own. Like, it was very
exactly.
unlikely that we were going to have the exact, I mean, maybe like Noob with the Batman Who Laughs, but it was very unlikely we were going to have the same thing. It was your own.
Right. Exactly. A lot of people are picking different things. There were a lot more options like to mix and match with instead of like everybody looks the same. You know, most of
Yeah.
the time you're going up against somebody who wears the same palette you like to wear or one of the same ones.
Like,
And
I
like
am definitely going to run up against the Melina that has on the crazy, and I love the outfit, don't get me wrong, but the psych ward outfit that
yeah,
she
right.
has, like, that's
Yep.
everybody's favorite for Melina.
Exactly. It's either that one or the open one. The
Oh, the
open
new
chest.
one?
Yeah, the freaking
Yeah.
Empress one.
Yeah. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying that we didn't get near as much customization as we should have gotten compared to the other games. Like, you can't customize anything with those outfits except for, Melina's mask.
You know,
Or
her size,
her size,
like
yeah.
yeah, it's like
And
giving
you
us only
can't see
one
the
piece of gear.
difference.
I know, right? It's like giving us one piece of gear that we can change is stupid. You know, it's like when we had 3 options before, also being able to level up the gear,
Yes.
you know, like we were
Yes. I
able to
forgot
level
about
it up
that.
and it had 3 attachment slots, you know, like you could put things onto the gear. Like that made such a big difference. Being able to choose your intro taunts, your outro taunt, your actual in-game taunt,
Yep.
like all these things added up to a much more cohesive game because it was fully flexible.
Yes.
You were even if you went up against somebody who had similar palette and gear to you, you had different talismans on or different gems or whatever they were. You had different things on your gear that made it play different, feel different. You
Yep.
had a different skill on or a different special on. Like all those little things made it so that the character felt the way you wanted them to feel instead of how everybody has them feel.
Exactly.
Like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, like they had such good features when it comes to that. And I think it's so funny going like to Kenshi and one and changing a
yeah,
sword.
right.
Like what I don't even do it. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
see
like
the
he can't see
point.
his sword. He can't see the sword. The sword acts the same no matter what.
And you can't really tell in game. Like
I know, right? There are certain ones that you really can't tell the difference when you're playing because it's either so small or it happens so fast.
yes,
You know?
exactly. Oh, actually I wanted to talk about one more thing before we go to the DLC cuz I'm going to be pissed when I know what it's coming. I know what's coming. And what we missed out on. Do you think even though they weren't true, when the idiots, and I mean idiot in the meanest way possible, started spreading the whole shit about them working with Sweet Baby Inc., do you think that affected sales in the long run?
I don't, honestly. I mean, it could have affected sales like right then, but I really just think that people are so sick of the woke bullshit that like this is one of the games that they're making a stand on. You look at the fan base for these games and it's mostly males. And right now it's mostly like, you know, 20 to 30 to 40-year-old males. It's not really a bunch of younger people
Right,
playing
right.
the game as much. So it's like you're not trying to accommodate for everybody. You're not even trying to accommodate for your core fan base, you know?
Which
Like
should
even
be
to
the
me,
ones, if you're going to pander to anyone, pander them.
Exactly. And to me, like, even the look of the characters, all right, I don't care if a character has gigantic knockers or a gigantic ass, right? But I think that having the characters like Melina and Katana literally look like stick figures
Yeah.
in this game. They literally look like plastic dolls to me.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to pick your palette, it's like a bunch of them could look better if the design or the model was actually like a normal shaped woman, you know?
Like,
It's like
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
Lee
they
May
took
looks
the
like a
girls,
boy.
right? Yeah, like I feel like all of them have very similar or the exact body design,
Yeah.
and it's like very small chest, very small body, very small back. You know, it's like to me, it looks like they took the actual model's butt and reduced it instead of left it the way it actually looks in real life. You know, I feel like they were trying to get away from the, oh, you just want like big tits jiggling in
Yeah.
your game or whatever. And it's like, no, but I would like
Body
see a female
diversity.
character that looks like a normal woman,
Yeah.
not a reduced woman, you
Yes.
know?
And Lee May's the one that bugs me the most because I like her gameplay. It's very girly. It's got, all the fireworks and the pink, and then you look at her and she looks like a 12-year-old boy, and she's pretty. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about body diversity. I'm like,
Yeah, she does.
okay,
Yeah.
this is what we're
Right.
doing to, it's kind of like we're doing the thing in the beginning with putting all the girls with dudes because they have to have dudes. And
Right.
then now we're also making them being sexist by not giving them curves.
Exactly.
It's
Like
so weird.
me, it's more sexist right now to make them look like tomboys
Yes.
than
And
the
one, I get it.
Yeah, like I get it, but at the same time, you just took it to an extreme, you know, like it
Like,
look at
everybody
the
loves
legs
their
of
muscle
Katana and
mommy.
Melina. What's that?
Everybody loves, like, you guys recently watched Arcane because you're awesome.
That's
And,
right.
you had Muscle Mommy and Bessa. And then you
Yeah.
had somebody like Jinx, who's teeny tiny. And that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's diversity in body there, like
Right.
would
They
happen
aren't
in
the
real
exact
life.
same height. Like literally, Tanya, Lee May, Melina, Katana, they're all the same height. They're all the same body build. You know, they all look exactly the same. Even Sindel, they all look exactly the same. There is no height or weight diversity whatsoever with them.
It's really, really frustrating. And I hate to, because I'm not a big Tekken person, but I know they at
Yep.
least have that, or no, it's not Tekken, it's Street Fighter.
Street
They have
Fighter. Yep.
that big chick, that muscle chick.
Yep. And even she looks great. Like, yeah, she's muscular, but a muscular woman like that, a big muscular woman, yeah, she's gonna have smaller boobs. She's not gonna have a small butt, but it's gonna be defined.
Right,
But then
right.
you look at the other characters too, though, and it's like they actually have like what a normal everyday female's butt actually looks like, instead of like reducing that to me. You know,
Marissa, thank you.
like the character models just don't make sense to me. Like a fit woman right now, it even if they don't have an actual hourglass shape, their rear end is still not a pancake.
Right.
You know, most women are actually working out their butt to make it look nice and accentuated. without it
Especially
being
nowadays, let's be real.
flat. That's what I'm saying. Like nowadays, more dudes are ass men than boob men. So
Anonymous tip $2. I'm assuming it's Punk because it doesn't say anything. So thank you, Punk. I seen that you enjoyed the last episodes of Arcane, and that is fucking awesome. It's because it's the best show ever. It's so
it was
good.
really good, though. I was not expecting it to be that good. It was really good.
And it's not an anime?
Yes, it is.
I don't think Sweet Baby had a big impact. I don't feel like a lot of people that aren't on, chronically online know a lot about it. But
No.
I do think that it's more along the lines of people have grown in one of two camps. You either love every gender swap or you fucking call it woke, right? And
Right.
and people have like got that knee-jerk reaction now. If they see a gender swap, they're gonna assume, oh, yep, there's some agenda behind this. Fuck this.
Yeah, for sure. It's like it doesn't make sense a lot of times. Like the
Especially
Sector and
with fan
Cyrax.
favorites.
That's what I'm saying. Like the thing with Sector and Cyrax, I think really put a pin in it for a lot of people. Because if you're already annoyed at the agenda and you think everything about it is woke, then you're literally just gonna uninstall the game and be done with it.
Yep.
Like it hit that point that you can't avoid it anymore. You have two fan favorite characters that people are really just hating on. Like I don't really see anybody playing Sector and
No.
Cyrax. I don't see anybody even training them, like labbing them.
I've actually seen
like
more people playing Ghostface.
Oh yeah. I've been playing Ghostface like crazy. Like as
You've
much
been
as
getting
I
them
hate,
toes? I fucking love it.
as much as I hate the character itself, I knew that they were gonna make him play like at the way that I wanted Newt to play. And even though I don't use Cobra and Kira that often, but like they are essential for doing very big combos with him.
Yeah.
You can do like 80% combos and infinite combos with Ghostface right now.
I also feel like it's a slap in the face, though, to fans, longtime fans, having Ghostface instead of Kira or Cobra.
Right. That's what I was saying. It's like you just now missed your opportunity to have them both be in the game because you gave it to Ghostface.
Yep.
You could have just gave us one pack with Cobra and Kira as a team and been done with it. But instead you gave it Ghostface.
Yeah. Robert, thank you so much. He said, sadly, we've reached a point where devs feel like they know better about what the game wants and wish the fans would shut up and buy it.
Yeah, they basically think that if they put MK's logo on it or NRS's logo on it, that we're going to pay for it. But that's not the case. Like, in a time where people are struggling the most, you need to think about what you're doing. You need to think about what they're buying. They're buying a product from you. They don't have to buy that product.
He said, I've seen more devs saying we need to call out the stupid gamers just buy our stuff because we have a message to say. I don't even think there's a message here.
I don't either.
I just think that people think they tried to do something, right? They changed Kai Liang into Scorpion. That was a lot of people were like, I remember Reese even being like, nope, not get. You know what I mean? Like, nope, it's Hanzo or nothing. And
exactly.
That one I didn't feel like was the worst, but I do feel like it was the catalyst for then we got Raiden not being a god, and I loved this version of Raiden. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was adorable, but it just kept snowballing.
Exactly, it was just one thing after another. Like like I said earlier to you, it's like if they had just done a few of the changes or just done smaller changes, it would have been fine. But you're making big changes and you're making like a bunch of small changes and a few big changes. That is really just pissing off your fans, like your core fans, not casuals. I get you got to keep casuals happy,
right?
But you need to keep your core fans happy because not all the casuals are over here buying the DLC packs and buying Chaos Reign. Like, I could see a casual player just buying the base game and not buying any of the DLCs.
Yep.
When you have your core fan base
or spending
money.
Or waiting for that, we know we're going to get the Ultimate Edition, right?
Right, exactly. You have a bunch of people like that where it's like the game went on sale for half price, like a month after it came out. It's like people like that are buying the game, but you have others like us that spent $110 to pre-order
plus
the freaking
50
game, to get the fucking DLC, plus another 50 to get the second DLC pack with the characters. Like $160 is not nothing. That's almost the price of 3 full games, and all we've got to show for it is Invasions, Combat League, and Towers of Time. Like, that's it. The customization is bullshit. The gears are bullshit. You can't actually pick your specials. You have to do that. It's like they wanted the cameos to be the extension of that.
Yeah.
Which is, I'll give them, that's a creative way to look at it, but it's also very restricting.
Right,
You
because
know?
not every cameo works with every character. Like, okay, there
Right.
are cameos. I would say Serena you could use for everyone. Chameleon you could use for everyone. But
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to bring in somebody like Tremor or somebody like Shunjinko as a casual and
Right.
get them to work. Like, you're just not. So I get what they were going for. I just feel like the execution was off. And there's so many ads on this site that it is messing. There we go. Come on, stop it now. I love how like just there's ads for every Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just everywhere. That's okay.
Everywhere.
You guys get free ads here today. But because of all of this, we're missing out on Jade.
Jade.
This would have been so. Hold on, I'm not even getting mad yet.
This should have been Combat Pack 2.
This should have been Combat Pack 2, hands down.
I love my noob, but this should have been Combat Pack 2, and then the other one that we got should have been Combat Pack 3.
Tell me this wouldn't have sold better. Jade, Cassie Cage, Kung Jin, who we haven't had since X, Sonya, and Kano.
Yeah. And then whoever the guest character is, which I'm assuming they're thinking like Doom Guy or one of those that have been asked about since like MK9.
Yeah.
But like, Jade has been one of the ones that people are calling for the most. But then you have the combat kids that people were expecting to be in because they were in the freaking story. So it's like you have their models made, you know.
And
like,
Kung Jin looked so fucking cool.
They all looked really good. You know, Kung Jin looked really fucking crazy in this one though. So it's like, what are you guys doing? And if they do cancel that, because these characters were supposed to be in the game, you know, like this has been data mined. Those characters from day one have been in the files. So if they cancel it or even put it out still and change those characters, people are going to be mad. If they don't at least give us Jade, Cassie, and Kung Jin, people are going to be furious.
Yeah, and I mean, Sonya and Kano are already in the game.
Exactly. Like, yeah, they're cameos, but I don't care to play Sonya or Kano. Yeah, I would like to see them as playables because I know other people love them.
Right.
But, like, getting the combat kids and Jade would bump this game up quite a bit in balance, you know?
Well, not only that, but then it would bring in the story. I mean, Sonya and Kano is a staple for rivalry in this game.
Right.
We've gotten nothing except for a few ladder endings when it comes to the idea of the special forces.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They like weren't even introduced. Like they never even became a part
That's
of
a
it.
huge faction.
Like they got introduced basically, and the OIA, the Outworld Investigation Agency, it's like they already have special ops like formed and done and have now moved over to the OIA. And they introduced that in the expansion. They didn't even introduce it in the main story. So
I think there was a couple endings. What was it, Jackson Kenshi or something that had to do with special force? Yeah, but like, what? Why not do a special forces combat pack or do you know what I mean? Like this would have been the combat pack that sold, and this is the one that's getting canceled.
Yep. And that's the funny part to me. It's like the special forces just weren't introduced at all. You know, it's like we don't have any characters except for Kenshi that are playable.
Yep.
That would actually be part of the special ops. You know, like Johnny isn't part of it in this timeline. So it's like you just have Kenshi there. And now Takeda.
And I love, like, Takeda was, I would say, probably my favorite out of that combat pack. Like, yeah, I think it was fucking awesome. And that's what they could have done with Kung Jin.
Right, though. And it sucks, though, that Takeda was, like, the last one that we got. And he was the best one.
He was fucking great. He's still one of my favorite to play just because he, like, the only thing they didn't bring back was remember those weird lightsaber things? Like, that was it. And I was okay with that. Everything else, his gameplay was so fun. Like, there was a lot of setup with him. I thought he was really, really good. And Cassie's a fan favorite. Jade's a fan favorite. Like, people love that bubbly, like, blow bubble gum and kick ass Cassie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You know? But, like, that's the other thing for me. Like, we were talking about it a few weeks ago. The MK Online, the way that they did the cameos, making it so that the cameos can be any of the normal characters, like, that's what I thought they should have done with this game. They should have made it so that you have all of your playables and you have all of your cameos, but any of the playable characters should have also been cameos. You know? They should have been choosable as a freaking cameo. If you can do it with Shujinko, where he can steal other people's moves like that, and you can do it with Shang Tsung, then it wouldn't be that hard to program in 4 moves for each character that they already have.
Yep. They literally already have.
Exactly. And just put them in as cameos and change the button input. You know, like, that's it. That's all you had to do. Change it from down back 4 to down back R1.
Exactly.
Like, it wouldn't have been that hard to reprogram a couple of these characters. So, like, that's where I think they really flopped. They really should have made this interchangeable, the playable and the cameos. All of it should be playable, you know?
That would
the
be
cameo
like,
characters should be playable, and the playable should be cameos.
That would have been the probably hands down, if they would have been able to pull that off, the best Mortal Kombat game ever created. They could have literally made everybody's favorite game.
Yeah, like, this literally would have been the new favorite of everybody, because anybody could enjoy that, whether you're a casual or an actual core fan. And everybody would have flocked to this game.
Yeah.
Because it would have been something new, with the cameo system altogether being a new thing, and people wouldn't have hated on it so much if you made it so that they could actually play their favorite character with a cameo, you know?
No, that would have been so good. Robert, thank you so much. He says, I get why they wanted to save off the rest of the characters until the next pact. In theory, it made sense. In execution, it was a problem. I disagree. I think it would have absolutely skyrocketed sales for Chaos Reigns. I think if you'd not gender swapped, put Jade in there, put Sonya, and taken out the Conan and the other metal guy, he doesn't even deserve a name. It would have sold. It would have sold. And then he says, I have a theory on what WB makes NRS do next. They'll do a sequel that's basically MK 1.5 with a main game release. I also think, because in this leak here, it does say, I do know that there was story stuff, but it never got far enough for details. I think that would have been a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like, don't get me wrong, I would have liked a story expansion, but if you're going to do that, just put Chaos Reigns and this story expansion together and make it its own game. So I think maybe they're saving that for the next Mortal Kombat.
But I feel like that's a mistake too, though. Like, because this got left on such a cliffhanger that not at least tying it up a little bit more is a mistake, and trying to get people to buy another game afterwards is another mistake. Because then it's like, we've already sunk so much into this game. You should be giving us another combat pack with the story expansion and have it not be $60. You know, like, they should be looking at, if you're going to give us 6 characters in the expansion, okay, I'll spend $40, $50.
Right, especially for those characters.
Right, it's 6 freaking characters plus the story. So it makes it worth it, but it's like, if you don't do the story expansion and just do the characters, like, it's better than nothing, but it's still not enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like it will be better than nothing, but it still wouldn't be enough to satisfy a lot of people. And if you're trying to just move on to the next game, you've now got people spending like $200 on this game, and then you're just going to go to the next one.
Next one. Yeah, I get it.
And, you know, so it's like, for me, I feel like the move right now is to let this go as long as it's profitable. And as soon as it's not profitable anymore, then they're going to just drop it completely and move on. I think they're going to be slowly moving on now.
Yeah.
Like over the next 6 months to a year, they're going to start working on their next game, whether it's Injustice 3 or MK2. You know, to me, they kind of blended up MK1, 2, and 3, and maybe even 4 technically in this game and in this story. So I feel like the next one should be like MK5, 6, 7 storyline, you know? I feel like they were trying to build us back up to where MK11 kind of took off or left off. So
Yeah, but
like,
I also feel like they dropped the ball building that up a lot because Hanzo's still a kid.
yeah.
And we've got, Kung Jin is kind of an idiot that messed up with Shunjinko. Like, it didn't, a lot of it was really weird. So, don't get me wrong, some of the latter endings were really good. Like, I love the one that, I think it was Raiko, where they're talking, was it about bringing Blaze back?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And Onaga. Yeah, you're talking
Oh,
about
Naga.
bringing
Yeah, that's
Blaze
what it was.
and
It wasn't
Onaga.
Blaze. Yeah, like, those were fucking awesome endings. But
Right.
the rest were kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then,
just another pointless storyline.
yes, that will never be addressed again. And
Exactly.
the difference with these as compared to 11, where 11 we knew they weren't real, right? That it was if they got a hold of the Sands of Time.
Right. But then we find out that they were technically all canon. They were all real. That's basically what they did.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like by making every one of them be able to be the Titan and steal the hourglass.
I still get confused that is one thing that they never explained. Is everybody a Titan? Nobody a Titan?
They did, because it's basically each one of them got the hourglass in a different timeline. So it's like, if you look at it, so from the Kronika fight forward, it's a whole different timeline. Each character.
Each character.
So
okay.
Each character ended up with the hourglass. You know?
Okay, so there is still somewhere a little teeny tiny baby with Melina mouth eating meat.
Yep. There's still, right now, there's an Aaron Black out there that's a Titan. There's a Kano out there.
Another character. I forgot. Another character. People loved
Aaron Black.
Like, Aaron was I was not great with him, but he was a cool fucking character. No Aaron Black. Come on now, guys.
He was the setup king too, dude. The acid pool with the guns. Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot. Okay. Like, I feel like this whole conversation has been like, go back to MK11.
I know, dude. That's what I keep saying. As much as I enjoy playing MK1, I just loved MK11 so much more. Like, even though there were bugs and bullshit when it came out, just like this game, this one is so much worse.
Yeah,
like,
so much worse.
So buggy, so glitchy. They don't address the problems. Like,
I don't remember 11 having this issues. Like, I don't know if maybe I don't remember like all the videos of it's buggy, it's this, it's that. I don't remember that.
Because there weren't. Like, yeah, there were some, but there weren't as many like this game. This game has gotten so popular for being so bad. Like, it makes no sense.
That's so bad. Tony said Kotal Khan is the best. You know, I'm not a big Kotal person, but Kotal would have been way fucking cooler than Conan.
Oh, definitely. And this game, he would have fit more. This game, he definitely would have fit into this game more than he did in MK11 or X.
I mean,
Like
yeah.
if they had brought him in, it would have fit more, but it just like Xiao, it's like you have way more of the physical combat in this game and less of the zoning than like
Yes.
MK11. There
Yeah.
was a lot
Heartwarming
more of
shout. Yep.
yeah, but it's like, yeah, I know, right? There was a lot more in MK11 where you had like the specials and the abilities and shit where it looked a lot better. The visuals of it, everybody had a power. This one, they don't really have that as much. They have it, just not as much. Like Noob Saibot, his only real ability that is a projectile or, a visual thing is the ghost ball. Ashra, all she has are the waves,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
whether it's dark or light. Johnny Cage, he doesn't even have his energy
And
balls.
I'm
What I
okay.
mean?
I
So it's like,
actually think that was one of the things I did not like. He didn't have the green with it. He didn't have the. I actually
yeah,
really. He's one character I feel like they got pretty well by now, not in the beginning.
right, but at the same time, it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like as good as Johnny is, it's still only the same like 3 to 4 combos
It's
that you mix
always the
again.
same. Like it's always forward 2-1. What is it? 2-1-3
Forward
4T.
1, 2, 4. Yep, exactly. Yep. Forward
Like
one,
it's
two,
just
four.
muscle
Forward
memory.
two,
You don't
one,
even have
three.
to try.
I know exactly. It's the exact same combo over and over. 2-1-2. Forward 1, 2, 4. Like it's the same shit over and over. And I
And
feel
when you
like that's
face
where
an
this game got lost. Like there aren't as many creative options for your combos because a lot of moves don't come out in between other moves. They really like locked you in with the frame rate in this game.
And I also feel like we all like go because they're the best combos. When you face somebody that's playing Omni Man, they're always going for the same combo route, right? Go
Yep,
to the one side,
always.
go to the one side, boom, boom, bring out Darius, hit you, boom, boom, boom. Like
Yep.
always the exact same thing. Whereas when you'd play online with 11 or 10 or I don't even think I ever played online with 9, but it was always different. Like it wasn't
Always.
always different, but it was at least everybody played every character a little bit differently. So it felt
Yep.
like whereas you can defend on this game so much more easily, that game you had to kind of get to know what people were playing, how they played it. You had to like Elden Ring it and look at
Yeah.
the patterns.
Right. You had to look at each character and what their available moves were, and then look at how that person was actually playing that character. Because now they have multiple choices on which
And
specials
you
they
don't
have.
know which special they had on.
Exactly. Like you could see a couple of them when it first match makes.
Mm-hmm.
You could see, like what you had and what they had for specials, but it would only show you a couple. It wouldn't show you everything. So like you were kind of like wondering what they had until they hit you with it, and then you figure out how to defend. This is very much the same combos over and over again. And as soon as an optimal combo gets found, that's what everybody's doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? As soon as I see a combo online, all of a sudden
It's
everybody that I go
everywhere.
against is doing it. And it's like all of a sudden everybody's a pro
Yep.
because they can do one combo over and over again.
I'm like looking at Waz, like, what are you doing with Takeda? Oh, okay. So now I'm doing that with Takeda.
I know Waz is a good one too.
He is, but I'm like
Good for
that,
them.
and that's exactly how I learned like Takeda. Like I couldn't figure out the best setup, so I'm like, you know what? Here we go. Let's go check it out, and boom, got it down. Know what to do. Like there's no guessing. There's no you get your combo route, and you can move on to the next character to learn because
It's
I
the
don't want to
same.
say easy, but
Yeah, but once you have the muscle memory, you're gonna keep remembering
exactly.
the combo.
Tavia has a really good question. Do you think the multiverse was a good idea or a bad idea as a whole for Mortal Kombat?
I mean, as a whole, it was a good idea, but it was executed very poorly. Like I really think that more than half of this story is very forgettable. You know what I mean? Like I remember almost every detail from MK11 storyline, and the storyline in here is very forgettable. You know, like I go back and I look at even some of the old palettes, like when Quan Chi's when Nataro's season came up and all the characters had the Quan Chi symbols and shit. I'm like, damn, I forgot that even happened.
Existed. Yep.
It's like it's a big part of the story too, you know, like so I just think that they really failed when it came to executing it, but it was a good idea because you can bring all these characters into one game. So it's like you look at them bringing the multiverse into this and you think that they're going to do the smart thing and bring every character that has been in an MK game that's been a main roster character into this game. No, they didn't do it. You know, you don't have to bring in Meat and Draman and all these other like
Mocap.
characters. Like you don't need to bring all of them. But if they were a main roster or a fan favorite in their respective game, then you should have brought them back for this game.
I feel
You know?
like people would have went crazy seeing Meat though. Like
I know, right?
like everyone would have been like, "How did you pull that off? How did you get that approved? Like, let's fucking go!" Like, people
Right.
would have loved it. But so when it comes to the story, you said some parts were forgettable, but like, I will say, like, for the first 60 to 70% of the game, I was completely entrenched. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
it was
that's for
great.
sure. It was definitely like the whole, probably like first for me, it was probably like the first 40%. I was really into it, and then there was kind of a lull, and then it got really good again. But
And then the
it just
cracks start to show.
ended. Exactly, it just ended poorly. Then you're just like relying on this Chaos Reigns pack, and now we're just the same situation again, where it ended in a way where you're like, okay, you know, like you're ending it there, you know, like now we're relying on another pack to come out just to complete the freaking story.
Yes. And then that ending, I kept seeing when the game came out, right? Everyone's like, "Don't spoil the ending. People are gonna go crazy. It's crazy. It's so stupid."
So stupid.
I did not like the pick a fighter thing. Like I at first I thought the amalgamations, right? Like where they, you had Frost Scorpion. Like I thought it was a cool idea at first, and then it got so repetitive.
Yep, because it's the same ones, you know, it's like the Smoke Shao Kahn one. I freaking hate anytime I have to fight that dude because he literally has the teleport and he has Shao Kahn's shoulder charge that we don't get in this freaking game.
At all.
Just like Smoke with the freaking LK-72 freaking skin, the purple robot skin, shooting Scorpion Spear out of his chest just like he did in the old games. Why don't I have that palette yet? Like he's been in the game since day one. That freaking skin for Smoke has been in the game since day one. Why don't we have it as a palette yet? It makes no sense. You're giving us all these MK2 palettes, but you haven't given us the ones that we freaking want. People want the Smoke palette more than they want the Katana and the Melina palette, honestly. Like, from what I've seen, there's a hell of a lot more Smoke players than there are Katana or Melina mains. You know, so it's like the story, they did a good job with coming up with the amalgamations, but they should have started to randomize it after a while, and they just didn't.
And
you know, it's like
we didn't
I
get
really
that.
thought that they were going to start giving us more of the match thing, and they just didn't, you know?
And the issue I also think it would have been people would have appreciated playing that version of the character. And I remember in the beginning, I kind of messed, like every once in a while I mess with mods, right? And I did that for this, and somebody had made a mod where you could play as that the purple smoke one. I don't remember what it's called. And it was really fucking cool. And I was like, okay, they're definitely dropping this at some point, right? It's in the game.
It's already there.
It makes zero sense why they would do that and then give us nothing. And then there was like, okay, there's this secret fight, right? In the game, and it's really cool, and blah, you get nothing different for it.
Nothing.
And then when go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. And now the thing with Floyd supposed to be a secret
Floyd,
fight and
yeah.
unlock Floyd, but nobody's been able to figure it out
I
yet.
don't think it's real.
We know is that there is a data file in there that says it should be a playable fight, but nobody's found it or unlocked it yet.
Like, I get when the games first came out that they were getting the secret fights was actually a secret fight, right? Like, it was actually hard to do, right?
Right.
But it's been months.
Yeah.
And Pink Floyd would be fucking cool to actually have.
Exactly. And for me, if you're going to have all this hype and build up around a character like that, they should be freaking unlockable if you actually do get the fight. You know, like if you figure out how to get that fight, that play or that character better become part of your roster. You know?
Robert said, didn't they promise us Cyber Smoke? Did they promise us that?
I thought so. I thought that they were going to give us the original cyber palettes. That's what I thought they said. I thought we were going to get one for Smoke Sector and Cyrax.
Another thing that really bothers me is at first I thought they were really cool, but then they started doing it for every character. So like Mortal Kombat movie skins.
Yes.
It made sense at first, and then you gave it to everybody.
It made sense for like Reptile, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion to have it. It doesn't make sense for Ermac and Rain and Smoke to have it.
No, they're not in the movie.
They weren't in the freaking movie. So you made up a new mask and just gave them a palette swap.
That's all it is, and then charged for it.
Exactly. Charge them $5 for it. You know, just like the MK2 palette. Why is it 1,500 freaking dragon crystals to get Melina, Katana, and Tanya MK2 palettes?
Okay,
like
I actually...
It's $5 for the most retro palette that has been in every
single game. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And you're charging us $5 for it. You're crazy.
Like, I think they look great, but I'm not spending money on it because I've done it for every single... Give us something new. Give us one from, you know, Armageddon or any other fucking game for Melina. I don't need the retro palette for the 16th fucking time.
No, honestly, even with the weird models that they have, I would prefer the cringy ass MK9 Melina where she just has bandages over
toilet paper Melina.
Like, I would literally prefer the TP Melina over what they gave us. I ended up earning the Dragon Crystals, getting Tanya up to 31 and Havoc up to 31 so that I could get Tanya's MK2. Fuck Melina and Katana.
Tanya wasn't even in MK2, right?
Exactly. That's the best part. She wasn't even in the game, but she got the palette. It's freaking hilarious, dude. You give us a deception skin for freaking Shang Tsung and Quan Chi and fucking Shao Kahn and Sindel, but then you give us old skin for the other characters, you know?
It's so dumb. Like, okay, why Melina or Tanya's outfit in X was incredible. Like her high heels, the Egyptian necklace she had, like all of that would have been. Why not put that one in it?
She looked wicked good in MKX. She really did look good in MKX. Like that palette. Just that palette would have been amazing. Even with this character model, that palette would have been amazing for her.
With the bangs, the hair, everything. I want it all.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, it's not the oldest game, but I would still prefer some of the MKX and the MK11 palettes over what we got. Why didn't we get the MK11 version of Noob? Why didn't we get the MK11 version of Rain? Like, Rain's design in MK11 was fucking
so good.
Nasty, dude. He looks so freaking good with the guitars, too.
Oh, my
the
God.
Dagger.
Yes.
He looked so much better.
And then
than
that hand thing he had?
Yeah, the fucking hand spears that he had.
Oh, that was so cool.
Dagger.
See, this whole fucking stream has been, you guys just need to go back to 11. That's what it did. That's so
I
messed
don't
up.
understand it though. It's like I've been saying this the whole time where it's like, yes, I can appreciate this game for what it is, and I
Yeah.
can appreciate what the characters changed into and what they look like now. But I would still prefer to have just taken MK11, MKX, and expanded on those instead of like reinventing the fucking wheel over here. You know, like you made all of the characters look completely 100% different and play and feel 100% different.
Yeah.
None of them play and feel like they did in any of their other games.
Um, Raymond says I missed the lips version of Melina from MKX, and that was I actually love it. I know some people hate it, but I love it. That would have been such a fucking cool, and it would have worked perfect because this is the Tarkat as a disease, and it would have made sense to have in this one. And like,
I know, right?
I feel like that was also peak Melina, like as far
Oh,
as
yeah.
gameplay goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like MK9 and MKX, Melina was a fucking demon. She was disgusting in 11 too. She was like unstoppable at first, but she was crazy to play in MKX
And she had the
MK9.
in MKX. She had the ball roll brutality. That was my favorite. That was so good.
Right. Instead of
Joseph,
this one,
yes,
where she
Joseph
just
said,
daggers their feet and licks them.
yes. Joseph said, I remember one little lady telling me I was wrong. MK11 was better. Times have changed. Okay, I am an optimist by nature, and I always hope for more. And when
Right.
more isn't delivered, even when it's promised, then yes, times may change.
Right. Like, and that's the shitty thing is like we're now this far in, and the game is just now feeling normal to me to
Yeah.
play. I've played more like this last few days than I have in months. Like, I literally have only been playing when I play with you or like not at all.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I've been playing randomly for the last like 2 to 3 months now, just on and off. But since Ghostface came out, I've actually been playing the most consistent. I haven't only been using Ghostface, but
Right.
like it brought me back to the game a little bit, and then like wanting to get the Tanya palette and try to save up for the Sindel palette when it comes back out. You know, like it's making me want to actually grind for the dragon crystals now that there's a way for us to fucking earn them.
And not just get it through. Yeah, like once there was no way to get that.
Right. Once you got your characters to level 31, there's no more way to earn dragon crystals until now. Now with the Towers of Time and the challenges, you can keep grinding and keep unlocking more dragon crystals. It takes a bit. Each one is like 30 brutalities or 30 fatalities or whatever, and it can only be done in the Towers of Time. Like those are the only ones that count towards the total, but it's still worth it to try to grind those out. Like over the last few days, I had Havoc was like level 28 already, so I just got him to 31.
Right.
And then Tanya, I was only at 20, but I got her up to 31 so that I could get the Tanya palette, the MK2 palette. And now I'm like, I'm going to work Johnny Cage and a couple other characters up to 31. And it sucks to me, like the DLC characters max out at 20 and they don't get dragon crystals when you max them out. So it's like you missed out on hundreds of crystals right there that they could have given us. We're still unlocking the character. We're still paying you for the character.
Literally the paid characters.
What's that?
They're literally the paid characters. They should have, even if they only go up to 20, then give us dragon crystals at 15 and 20 or something.
Even if you just gave them to us at 20, like they don't give you any dragon crystals for leveling up the DLCs, and it makes no sense. It's like that should be kind of like a thank you for buying the like, you know, it's like that gives the players at least $1 back of their money. If you give them 100 crystals when they hit level 20, you know, that's still saving them $1 on one of the packs later. Like it doesn't hurt your bottom line very much to do that.
No, not at all.
On what, 9? There's like there's what, 9 fucking DLC characters so far? 10? Something like
6
that?
plus 9, right? Oh yeah, 10,
Yeah,
10 because of Ghostface.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it's like you literally missed out on 1,000 fucking dragon crystals if you got all your DLC characters up to level
And
20.
I wouldn't even
Um,
care about, like, I know I bitched about the classic outfits, but if I were able to get the crystals that way, I wouldn't care near as much about spending them.
Right, exactly. You wouldn't be trying to hold out for something different or something better.
Exactly.
That's pretty much what I've been doing. It's like I'll have like 250 or 300. I'll get a character up or I'll get a couple characters up, get the thing I want, and then I'm done. I don't go and keep maxing out my characters. I prefer the characters that I use the most are already maxed out. So
Yep.
it's like I have to play characters that I don't normally play or want to play so that I can get those crystals. So like, yeah, I like playing with Tanya and I like playing with Havoc, but they aren't my usual characters. So it's like you're relearning that character to get them up to level 30 to have enough crystals to unlock a fucking pallet.
Yep.
You
Exactly.
know? Or at least get a few bucks off of the pallet.
Lizardology said Ghostface and Homelander are pay to win. LOL. See, I
Oh,
disagree to a
dude,
point. Maybe
they
I
both
haven't
have
played them
infinite.
enough.
They both have infinite combos. That's why they're
But you
saying
have to
that.
be able to pull them off. And let's be real, the
Yeah, but
casual person can't.
Homelander is literally idiot proof. All you got to really do is fly and hit your lasers. That's it. All you got to do is get into the air where they can't connect with you and then just keep spamming 4 and they literally can't move. You can't react.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
in between each laser, there isn't enough recovery time for you to do anything. Like, so they literally made Homelander broken. And then Ghostface, as long as you're fast enough at canceling Kira's dagger, you can literally have 100% combo, infinite combo with Ghostface. And that's the only difficult part is when you change over to Kira, do the knife and cancel
Kira.
it. Yeah,
Duh. I was like, wait, hold on. Do you mean straight? Never mind. My brain's slow.
I gotcha. No, if you're Ghostface and you do the first part of the combo and then switch over to Kira and then do the knife throw but cancel it, then you can start your combo. It's like it works best with Sector or Sub-Zero, but you do your combo, you freeze them, you come over from the other side with Kira, you go to do the knife throw, cancel it. They're still frozen when they shouldn't be, and then you can keep your combo
Oh
going.
my god. Okay,
So
so
it's like it's an infinite loop. Like you can literally just keep doing it over and over again.
see, I've played with Ghostface, but I haven't played that much to know like exactly. That's fucking insane.
It is though, like because for whatever reason, when Sub-Zero freezes them, it's long enough that they can't recover, but that you can do the knife throw cancel and still have enough time to start the next part of the combo
Oh my
or
god.
restart the combo.
Okay, so in the beginning, when Johnny was murdering every single one of us, everybody bitched about it. But when it comes to Ghostface, people are just like, this is cool.
Right? People are bitching about it for sure, but a lot of people are using Ghostface.
Right.
A lot of people weren't using Johnny like that. They were only using Johnny if they wanted to win.
Right.
Like that's what everybody was doing. Whenever people found out that Johnny was the optimal character in this game, they just stuck with him.
Yeah.
Just so that they could progress in Combat League. That's
Isn't it?
where I got mad.
Well,
Like
yeah.
people just using
That
him
still
to
happens.
win. Oh yeah.
Isn't it kind of fucked up that Ghostface and Homelander out of this DLC are better for, casual or regular, player that can get off at least a couple combos than Sector and Cyrax and Noob?
Yeah. It's really annoying.
So your
It
guest
really is.
characters are better done than
Yep.
your main rock. Make it make sense.
That's why I keep getting so annoyed with this game. You know, like we were talking about it beforehand, before Ghostface came out. Like, as much as I hate that character as an idea for this game, they actually did him very well.
Yeah,
He is
for sure.
honestly one of the more fun characters to play. Like him, Noob Saibot, Smoke, and probably like Quan Chi are my favorites to actually play. You know, they have fun moves, they have fun combos, fun prompt or combo setups.
Yeah.
You know, they interact with the cameos well, but like if you are a beginner, they're good, medium, they're good, professional, they're good, you know, like they're good for everyone. And then you have like Homelander and Johnny, mostly people that just want to cheat or be
Right.
cheap, you know, so it's like there is something for everybody in this game, but I just think that they did the guest characters so much better
That's fucked
and
up.
tried to make them more fun than the actual MK characters. Like even Peacemaker. Peacemaker was so much fun to
Yeah,
play when he
I
came
actually
out.
like him and Omni-Man quite a bit.
Yeah, I didn't like Omni-Man as much because it's just like two combo routes and they both
Yeah.
lead to the same place. But like Peacemaker, you had a lot of variation and a lot of options because he had a lot more juggle. And like until they nerfed him into the fucking dirt, he was one of the best characters, you
Like
know?
immediately nerfed him.
Immediately. I loved playing Peacemaker.
Yep.
He was another one that had the infinite combo, but it was like it was also something that took skill. You know, like you needed to have skill, and it was harder to get his optimals
Yes.
out than some of the other characters, but it was fun, and it was fun to learn him. You know, I
Yeah,
think
and
they lost that in this game. A lot of the characters are not fun to play, and they're
Kenshi,
not
not
fun to
fun.
learn.
Not at
No,
all.
not at
Like
all.
I have no I call him a clutch player because I feel like I know it takes skill to play him. I do. And I
Yeah,
kind of poke at it, but I find everything about playing Kenshi, which I should love because I did in other games,
yeah,
annoying.
yeah. It's difficult. You know, it's like even if you're good at the game and even if you're good at controlling Kenshi, it's still difficult. You know, like I figured out probably three or four really good combos with Kenshi where I could actually like do a few hits, get Sento out, do a few hits, use my cameo or use Sento, you
Yeah,
know, like
yep.
figure out a few really good combos. And then it's just they either nerf him and they have different reactions, or they nerf him and he just doesn't do the damage, or it's just too difficult to pull off in an actual match. You
Yep.
know, like labbing something is very different than actually reacting to another person and getting to pull that combo off in a real match. There was only like one combo out of the four that I found. Like one of them was actually like optimal in a real match. The rest of them were just bullshit.
Yep.
You know,
Yep,
they're good combos,
exactly.
but you're never gonna actually pull it off.
Um that would be an idea. Tavia said personally, for me, we really should have brought back a conquest mode from Armageddon. I think they were so I do feel
They
like they were
tried.
trying with invasions,
Yes.
and it wasn't it was right before, like so it would have been last summer. I played Armageddon again.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of fun compared to invasions, right? It wasn't the same, but it had the same feel, but it was a lot better. I think two things would like that would have been really cool to bring back for fans, and then create a character.
Yeah. My thing is look at the crypt, dude, from MK11.
Oh, that was
The
so fun.
You know, like the crypt was like its full own game. You know, it was like a full on RPG that it took a lot of time and skill to actually navigate. You know, like you had to get a certain number of souls to unlock everything and
Yep.
certain number of coins, and you had to unlock certain skills and find items, and you couldn't do everything that you would want to, like you couldn't even jump, so it's like you're running around breaking things, finding things,
Yes.
using different items, like
That one
the
was really
consumable
good.
You know, it's like they did a really good job and it was really fleshed out. Then you have Invasions. It's a comic world. You're going space to space. It's the same fights over and over and
Over and
over
it's
again.
just
Even when they
grinding.
do the mix and match characters, they still are the same ones. Like this season, I have fought the Havoc Kano combo like 18 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've fought the Smoke Chow combo like 14 times. You know, like you're fighting the same ones over and over again. That's not creative anymore.
I
You
forgot how
know,
good
like
that crypt was. And the thing is that crypt was so good. I think I've beaten it 3 times separately.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I
You
and I
go
had
through it
fun each
multiple
time.
times. Yeah, each time. The only thing that I didn't complete each time was the 50 brutalities with each character or whatever,
Yeah,
the head,
yeah. Yeah,
the
that
severed
was
head.
yep.
But like I had MK11 on my Xbox One, I had it on my PS4, I put it on my PS5.
Yep.
Like I literally own 4 copies of that fucking game, and this I will not buy at all for anything else. Like I even had MK11 on my PC. You know, I put it on there after I got Game Pass set up and shit when we were trying to do crossplay. So
Yep.
it's like I literally have 4 different copies of MK11, and I barely even want the 1 copy of MK1 right now. Like,
That's so
it's just now
sad.
gotten, it's so bad, dude. I really enjoyed it the first few months a lot.
Uh-huh.
But then it just like declined more and more, you know? And now it's like, maybe the last 6 months or so, I've barely played the game.
Yep.
I basically every time something new comes out or the new season starts, I'll play. I'll play a little bit, or I'll play here and there, but it's only a few days or maybe a couple of weeks. I'll play it a few times, but like I'm not really interested as much as I was.
No, I
Even
totally
now,
get
I've
it.
been playing. I've been playing quite a bit the last few days, and I've still only sunk maybe 10 more hours, maybe 12 more hours into the game.
Yeah.
But it's like I've been trying to work on my car and I'm playing this. I got DMC5. I'm enjoying a lot more than this. I
I
got
mean,
Elden
fair.
Ring now that I'm playing. Like those games are way more enjoyable than MK to me, and that's never how it was before. I
Exactly.
never I liked fighting games way more than RPG games, and I can fall back to the fighting games, but now
It's vice
falling back to
versa.
the RPGs
Yep.
because Invasions isn't doing it for me. It's not scratching that itch for the RPG feel. And it's just so underwhelming. Like the customization is terrible. The exploration is terrible because there is none. The just creativity and uniqueness of even MKX and 11, it's not here, you know?
No. And Hooded said, I want my Mortal Kombat like ran like Fortnite where they always introduce new stuff. I think
Right.
that they were gonna try with this one
Yep.
until
They
they
were.
got I too greedy,
Yep.
too slow, too
I think
badly
that
messing up.
exactly. I think that the backlash from the seasonal fatalities is what made them
Oh my
realize
god, I
this,
forgot about
this
that.
game is not going to work as a live service as
Yep.
well as we want it to.
Yep.
It has it. Just think about how many dragon crystals it cost for each one of the pallets that people wanted,
Yep.
and people are paying for it. It's like not everybody is actually earning it. A lot of people are paying for these pallets. So it's like the 4 million copies that sold in the first month, if each one of them just spent an extra $10 on 1 or 2 pallets, the game made money. It's
Oh, for
still
sure.
making money as a live service, but like I think that they were going to actually lean into it way harder. Like every week, give us a new paid palette, like give us new paid things every week. And I think they realized that we weren't going to stand for that shit when they got to the seasonal
I never
fatality.
got those. Did you?
No,
No,
no, fuck no.
no, that was fucking ridiculous. Never in this
Right.
world would I think that they would try to charge us for fatalities.
Exactly. And then the backlash was so bad that after the first one, they gave them out for free. And if you paid for the first ones, you got the other ones for free anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like if you paid for the Thanksgiving one last year,
Oh, that
you
one was
got the Christmas one
disgusting
for
too.
free. I know, right? But like if you didn't pay for it, you just didn't get them.
Yeah.
So it's just stupid the way
It
they
was
did that.
really dumb. I forgot that they did that. I think that was the first time they noticed, oh fuck, we might be in a little bit of trouble here.
They realized, oh shit, people are talking trash about us right now, and they're not paying for it. Like there are not that many sales. Once you saw it once, you didn't want
You
it.
did it, yeah.
You know? Like,
Especially
I
the
thought
Thanksgiving one. That was so disgusting.
it's like the gross food fight thing. It just didn't make sense to me. It was just poorly done. And then even the Krampus one, the Shao Krampus one for Christmas, like that was better for sure.
For sure.
But it's still like making people pay for the fatalities is not smart when you're doing
it's fucking weird.
Fatalities.
It's
one
fucking
thing if you're,
weird.
It is though. It's like if you want $5 from me and you want my character to have a fatality, okay, cool. But give me at least 1 to 2 fatalities for that $5, number one. And number two, make it unique to my character.
Yes.
Not something that every character has, you know? And I get where they were trying to basically, okay, you pay for this fatality and any character can use it so that they aren't out here charging you $5 for each character to have fatalities. I get that. But that's why you have the seasonal credits with the brutalities right now. You should be giving us fatalities, animalities, brutalities that we can earn.
I'm actually shocked the animalities were free. I'm not going to lie.
Me too, honestly. I thought that they were at least going to be purchased in the seasonal store.
Yeah, or with the pack or whatever.
Yeah, with crystals.
Like, I think one thing that they could have added, which I mentioned earlier, would have been when I played Armageddon, right? They had the creative fighter thing. And I think that would be really fun thing. I know it would be hard. I know it's like a coding issue. But if they were able to do a creative fighter where you take somebody's moveset, so you create a female fighter and you really want them, you give them your look, that kind of how they did with Tekken, but it's a little different, right? But and then you add Melina's moveset to it. But it's your own unique character. That would at least take a little bit away, like it would make the lack of customization a little bit more digestible because you're able to create something that's truly unique.
Yeah, you can actually still, if you had that, you'd be able to actually customize the appearance. Whether the moves were the same as another character wouldn't matter as much. It would be disappointing, but I would much rather be able to take a character, make them look, and play however I want to.
Yeah.
You know, like if I want a character that looks like a mix of Shao and Rain and Raiden, but plays like Smoke,
yes,
I would like that much more than just only having Smoke and the appearances that you want to make for him. You know, like
think of how funny it could be too. Like you can make this big ass brute character and give him like Katana's moveset. Like it would be fucking hilarious.
Exactly, and it would be a lot more memeable. It would make it a lot more popular at it. Like at the very least, the game would be much more popular if they did that. And it's already technically been coded into the game that you have mixed match fighters.
Yes,
you know, like we were talking about earlier.
Yes, I didn't even think about that.
You already have some of these mixed up characters, and I think that is what triggered a lot of people in advance, like that were leaking news and spoiling things. They were saying that they thought we were going to get a creative fighter because they were seeing these files with these mixed match characters. So like that should have been an option for the player and not just something that we have to tediously fight, you know?
Robert said, "Did you guys know that Kenshi has a unique take on one of Ghostface's fatalities?" No,
Yeah,
I have no idea.
yeah.
What is that?
When Ghostface is going to stab on his second fatality, I think it is
Mm,
first or second fatality. When he's going to stab him in the face, if you're any other character, they look up at Ghostface and see him
in
and
the
then freak out.
yeah.
But Kenshi, when he looks up, he can't see anything, so it's all blue spirit. It's like the spirit is seeing it, not Kenshi.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so but it's like that for all of the fatalities against Kenshi.
Right, right.
Like any of the ones where it's like a close up or a first person view from Kenshi, they look like a spiritual outline or whatever. They're like the blue thunder or blue lightning.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that little things like that are really cool that they do.
yeah, little touches make a big difference.
Yeah.
You know?
Joseph said creative fighter like that would be great, but if it's not in the DNA of the game now, you'll not see it. Maybe in MK2. And I hate to keep comparing it. Like cuz I know I like Tekken, but it was, definitely inferior in my opinion. But their customization, now when the game first started, their customization was really cool. You could take Azucena and make her look more like, Lara Croft, right? There was really cool ways you could do that. I do know now, I don't even have the game, I haven't had that game downloaded in so fucking long. I don't care. I just see it in articles. But, like,
Yeah.
I do know now that, like, any more customization that they give you is sometimes charged, right? It's like $3.99 to get this pack that gives you 7 sunglasses or something stupid.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like they were trying to say that they weren't going to charge for a bunch of things, and then they ended up having to put the story in anyway after the game was out for like a week. So
And then
then
the
it's
battle
like they
pass.
start charging you, and then they want to start charging you for old palettes and old skins, just
Yep.
like this game.
Yep. And
Yeah,
I
it's like
understand, like, games need to make money. I'm not stupid. I know that in
right,
order for them to continue success, they have to profit. But, like you said in the beginning, we're $160 in. They're
right.
profiting from us already.
Exactly. They sold 4 million copies in less than a month, like or in less than 2 months or whatever it was. They've
They're
made
doing
their
all right.
money. They made their money off of this game, and now it's just greedy. It just seems really greedy. And then the big thing for me is like you're nostalgia baiting us, and you're just trying to dig in our pockets based off of the nostalgia that we
Yeah.
have for the other games instead of giving us something that is similar to the other games. Like I'll say it a million times. MK11 was such a uh just more cohesive, more balanced game
Yeah.
because you had your single player, your story mode, but you could go and do uh online matches and do Combat League if you wanted to. If you got sick of that, you could go and do Towers of Time.
Go into the
And you had
crypt.
all these different things. You had consumables and you had towers that you could unlock. And you go into the crypt if you wanted the RPG
Yep.
feel. You know, it was like multiple different games in one game. This game is twice as heavy as MK11 data wise, and it's half the features. It just doesn't make sense to me on what took them so long to make it, why it's such a heavy game, but such a trash game when it comes
Right.
to features. And then you think other little things like the shrine. Why was the
Oh, the
shrine
shrine is
fully
completely
empty?
fucking useless.
Yeah, like why was the shrine completely empty on multiple seasons? Why are you even putting the shrine in here if you're not going to keep it stocked?
And then you're
Like
still getting money for it, and it's senseless. Like,
exactly, you're
and even
still
if there
getting
was something in it, was like 6 things.
exactly. That's the other thing. It's like I have almost a million fucking coins right now, probably close to 2 million coins right now, and nothing to use them on. There's 3 different currencies, but one of them is completely useless. The other one takes long as hell to get up enough to actually get everything for that season. And then the other one cost me real world dollars or a shit ton of my time. It's like, and at first we didn't even have the second option of grinding for the dragon crystals. So
Yeah.
it's like you have the coins that you're going to use maybe 60,000 of them when the shrine is actually fully stocked. I think it
If
was
they
like
ever
60
put anything
items.
in it.
Right. The most was like 60 items, and most of it is combat cards and fucking
Yep.
artwork,
Yep.
or one palette with multiple colorways.
Yeah.
And then you got the seasonal currency, which, yeah, that's the most important one. That's
Right.
what you're using to get new gear and new palettes for yourself through that season. And now unlocking the brutalities, but then what? In a month and a half, when everybody's unlocked all those brutalities, are
That's
you
it.
going to add more?
Yeah.
Or what are you going to do? Because now they're saying, oh, those are going to be there forever.
Yep.
Okay, so are you guys going to add fatalities or animalities or
Something
even more
more.
brutalities? Just something more. The whole seasonal store was empty except for the brutalities.
Yep.
You know,
That's
this
ridiculous.
season, yeah, this season, if you bought everything from last season or from the first season,
You're
the
done.
only thing available to you is the brutality.
Yep.
You know?
And then they were also, the stuff that's now back in the seasonal store was on sale for dragon crystals way back. Like,
Yep.
it's so
I know,
fucked
right?
up. It's so, and Robert's right. The only thing with MK11 was the crossplay was a little funky.
Yep. Yeah,
And
but even still, that was still a fixable problem. You know, they did have issues with it, but it was funky because it was like, yeah, you could crossplay, but it was still very limited on which systems could
I think you had
crossplay
to
with.
go in a
with it.
lobby too, something like that. I
Right.
don't remember exactly, but it was a little funky, but that was it. The rest of it
Yeah.
was golden. And do you remember Mortal Kombat 10? The
Yeah.
crypt for that? How fucking I don't know if it was just me, but that thing gave me so much anxiety.
Yeah, it was kind of horrifying.
It was horrifying. The fucking
It had its moments.
spiders.
The spiders, dude. Yes. The fucking even the spiders from 11, they would catch me sometimes too because they just
Yes.
run up on you and fucking explode.
You know what that means, right?
That we need to do some MK11.
That we need to do some MK11.
we need
We
to either
have
turn
to.
it up or
We
1v1
totally.
it.
What's that?
I said we either need to 1v1 it or turny it up.
Yeah, I think we need to 1v1 it and then turning it up. That way they're unpracticed and we're polished.
That's right. There you go.
We were totally going to play some multiverses today, but there was so much with this that I wanted to talk about. And
Yeah.
honestly, like, it's such a huge disappointment, too. As a Mortal Kombat fucking stan.
Man. Yeah, seriously. I literally have played every single one of these main installments that I can think of.
Yep.
I didn't play the 3D era as much, and I think that's why it kind of bothers me more that all these people were so hyped up and hyped NRS up to bring back the 3D era characters and then barely played them.
Yeah.
But like, I have enjoyed every game. There's just some games that I just wasn't playing games anymore for a long
Right,
time.
exactly.
This game brought me back to it more of a full time when it first came out for the first time since MK11. And it's like, it's been years, dude. Like,
Yep.
give us a good game. And now you knew what we wanted with how well MK11 did and how long it was actually like played. They were still doing new combat leagues even a couple months ago. People are still playing that game. So
Right.
it's like, that your game has longevity. So for me, it's more of a don't give us an unfinished game. Give us a polished game and then just add to it. Expand on it.
Exactly.
Don't make us pay $110 for a game that isn't complete yet and then try to make it complete throughout its life cycle.
Exactly. And if they would have started at the point they're at now, I think this would
Right.
be a completely different conversation.
completely different. I think if the starting point was where we're at now, even just like balance wise, you
Yeah.
know, buff and nerfs and shit,
And
balance
features.
wise, I think that they would be in a much better place than they are, you know, and that's why I think like the game was not ready to come out. WB pushed them to put it out sooner, and that it fucked them.
That's a
Even though
fucking
it sold
shame.
really well,
Yep.
the longevity of the game is going to be much shorter than MK11. There are
That's
so
a
many
fucking
pro
shame.
players that have tapped out. They are just not playing the game. When you have pro players that have been supporting you for over a decade, live
Yes.
streaming your game, putting up videos of your game, pro tours, all kinds of stuff, spending their money and like supporting your game by putting your games out there more. It's like it's a slap in the
Not
face
just
to these
pro
people.
players. It's also
Oh,
people that their channels, their bread and butter, Losty Girl,
right.
like Dynasty, like that is their bread and butter, and that's it. They're done.
Yeah, seriously.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
It really is.
exactly. It's like I don't get where they thought that this was the solution. You know, like if they were having so many problems when they were developing the game, how did we end up with the product when we did?
Yep.
And how did it not get fixed like within the first 3 months? You look at Tekken and even Street Fighter, like they they were so good on release
Yep.
and then petered out instead of
Vice
oh
versa.
everybody's stoked but they're pissed on
Yep.
release. You
Yep.
know, and now it's getting better and people are championing it again. So it's like I think this game does still have a chance if they don't just trash this KP3 in story expansion. This game does have a chance to
Yeah,
just keep
but
going.
if they do it,
But
that's a big if.
exactly. It's if they even do it, if they can keep the fan base and keep them happy. At this point, all they need to do is keep balancing out the characters as they become unbalanced. You know, the more people figure out optimal combos and cheats, get rid of the cheating and the cheap shit,
Yep.
and just optimize the gameplay from here on out and expand on it instead of nerfing people into the ground so that it buffs other characters. Like,
Yep.
to balance the game.
Yep.
Keep it gameplay fun, simple shit without going too crazy. And it has a chance. But if they just tap out and don't give us KP3 and these characters that people have been wanting since release, then they're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna lose people off of their next game too.
They're
Like
gonna lose a
NRS
lot.
will probably be toast if they cannot recover from this game.
Yeah, and that's a fucking shame because NRS is like it's just a mainstay for me, right? Like it's
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
I've loved it since I was a child. Like you
Yeah.
gotta fix this. You gotta fix this.
Exactly, dude. I've been playing one NRS game or another basically consistently for like 12 years now.
I know it's fucking
Like,
crazy. Like
and have played every Mortal Kombat since I was a kid, since like MK2 came out, and
Mhm.
even like I would play MK1, I'd play MK2, MK3, Ultra was my favorite when I was a kid. Like that was my go-to game for the longest time, you know? So
it's
it's like,
fucking insane.
yeah, seeing it get to this state when you had such high hopes for this game,
And
it's
it's a
just such a
beautiful
fucking
game you would
letdown,
expect. It really, really is. We're definitely. I want to wrap up because this was perfect. I
Hell yeah.
like I said, we were gonna play multiverses, but you know we can talk Mortal Kombat all day. Let's be real
I know,
here.
right? We
Let's
could.
be real. But you want to play MK11 next week?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah! Bring back my Melina.
That's right. Bring me my fucking noob.
Oh god, I'm gonna die. Oh god, I'm gonna die so much, guys.
Oh shit.
Oh
I'll
goodness.
practice with some other characters. so I don't
Okay,
get-
okay. And I'm just gonna practice in general so I don't completely get obliterated. I mean, my Scorpion's pretty good. Come on now.
Your Scorpion's good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us, bitch. But you know what? It needed to be said.
It definitely needed to be said. It had to be done.
And
Thank you for having
no,
me.
thank you, Docs. I appreciate it. Sorry we didn't get into any gameplay.
No, that's okay. It spawned you onto MK11. I'm good with that.
Yes, let's fucking go. Come on. Okay. All right, guys. We will see you next